I'm Sarah Turner, freelance medical copywriter and copywriting mentor, and I want to just give you 3 quick tips or just pieces of advice to keep in mind when you are picking your copywriting business name. So it's something that's very exciting, especially if this is your first business you're starting. People get really excited to come up with their business name. They also kind of can tend to get hung up on it and overthink it, make it more complicated than it needs to be. So I just want to give you 3 tips that I have seen work really well, not only for myself, but for other copywriters. So the first thing is keep in mind that you want to leave room for growth. So if you are starting out as a freelance copywriter, that might be what you are focusing on right now because it's a great skill set to get started, but you might end up growing into something different, right? So maybe you will focus on email copy, or maybe you will focus on Facebook ads, or maybe you will start a copywriting agency, or maybe you'll become a complete marketing agency. So when you're coming up with your business name, keep that in mind. What you're doing today might not be what you're doing forever. You will likely grow and develop and change. So when you're naming your business, give yourself room to grow. Give yourself room to grow into something bigger. So in that way, something a little bit more vague or all-encompassing can be a good idea. The other thing is always be clear over clever. I think it is super important, not only in your copywriting, but also in your business name, to just be really straightforward and concise about what it is that your business does. Because that's really helpful for somebody who's reaching out to you, who's searching for you. It's also good if it includes what you do in your URL, because it will help with SEO. So that's an added bonus. So being clear, saying exactly what you do. Are you an agency? Are you, a copywriter? Are you, focusing on creativity? Whatever it is, be clear and concise over clever. So, a lot of times people want to do kind of creative or cutesy business names, but at the end of the day, it can be 1, hard to remember for your client, but 2, it can also be not clear who it is that you are or what it is that you offer. So I'm just always gonna say that it's better to be clear. It also makes things a lot easier when you're coming up with your business name if you just are thinking in a more straightforward way. The other thing that I really recommend is using your name. So the thing about using your name is that people are going to be more likely to remember you and your name over, again, some sort of like cutesy business name. So I think it's really important and powerful. Also, that way when people are searching for you, maybe they meet you somewhere and they're like, that Sarah Turner copywriter girl or whatever. And then they type in Sarah Turner copywriter into Google and they're going to really quickly find me. So that's another thing that I recommend. And again, maybe you use some of these pieces of advice and not all of them, but those are the 3 things that I have seen be really helpful and effective for not only me, but also for other copywriters. So keep those in mind. And at the end of the day, like, those pieces of advice basically mean don't overthink it, because that is something that, it can be really easy to do when you're starting out, overthinking things like this. But I'm a big advocate for focusing on things that actually increase your bottom line and improve your skill set, right? Those are the 2 most important things, is that you're constantly improving your skill set so that you bring a lot of value to your clients. And then of course that you're making it a reliable, sustainable career. So things like business cards, stuff like that, they can feel really good. A cutesy business name can feel really good. But at the end of the day, is it holding you back? Is it taking up too much time? Is it not moving you forward more quickly? Those are the kinds of questions I like to focus on. So really, when it comes to choosing your copywriting business name, don't overthink it. Just go ahead and pick something that's going to give you room to grow, that's really clear, and if you want to, use your name. And also, don't worry if your name is not a traditional, or an easy to say name. I get questions about that a lot, but there are lots of people, with names that are more difficult to pronounce or things like that, who earn a name for themselves. And that's something that can be really powerful, especially if your name does stand out and is memorable because it isn't a boring name like Sarah. So those are just some of my thoughts. I would love to hear yours in the comments. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up button if this was helpful for you. What are your business names? What are you thinking about? And and don't forget to hit subscribe, and you will be getting more videos every week. Thanks, guys.